So I'm Justin Benson, CEO and founder at Spreedly. We started about 10 years ago. My background by way of Australia, lived in the States for about 25 plus years. And Spreedly is a payment orchestration layer. We're really focused in on card not present payments in particular. The opportunity we saw in the marketplace 10 years or so ago was that merchants and platforms would want an independent technology layer that sat between them and their payment providers to give them kind of maximum flexibility, the ability to grow really quickly. And that was, PCI security, development headaches. We figured if we built that for them, it might be valuable, and it's played out that way. And then as time has evolved, merchants and platforms have gotten much more sophisticated in how they do payments, and so are looking for us to help now with much higher end things in the payment stack, fraud, smart routing, network tokenization, anything they can do to really optimize their payments.
Rappi is basically an instant delivery in minutes of anything you want. And by anything, I mean anything. We even have a button that's called the magic button for us, where you can ask anything you want. We use it to understand the clients and to understand the new verticals. Basically, Rappi is the only super app in this part of the world. So we have travel, we have restaurants, we have groceries, we have anything delivered in minutes. And what I do is that I am the global head of payments partnerships. And what I do is I try to manage and improve the relation with all the payment industry, including franchises, PSPs, orchestrators.
Sure. I think, our definition of a platform and a direct merchant is really the direct merchant owns and controls the money. It's their money, it flows through them. So in that way, we actually see Rappi as more as a direct merchant. And the reason that matters is it really influences behavior and what our customer is looking for. So in the case of merchants of record, where it's their dollars, they're very focused in on success rates, very focused in on optimization. The smallest tuning, the smallest perfection can really help them improve their margins overall, their revenue. When we think about platforms, they kind of have two competing interests. They're often selling their own software solution, and they're really focused on what they can do there and want to hand off the payment piece to somebody else to manage for them on their behalf. Now, a lot of those platforms are seeing what's happening with PayFacs, are getting more interested in being more strategic around how payments flow. But it is kind of the difference is that they want us to enable a flow on behalf of their merchants, just make it work. As we're a customer like Rappi, who it's their lifeblood, it's their revenue, much more focused in on optimizing, not just enabling.
Basically, Rappi is a startup. It's the only unicorn in Colombia, and we operate in 9 countries, and we are still growing, and we have a double-digit rate of growing. So basically, we need to enable payments in every country that we arrive in a very quick way, in a very easy way, having the opportunity to route through one provider or through another provider, and that is basically enabled by the orchestrator that we have chosen as our ally during these years. Also, we have incredible goals of acceptance rates. We even talk about having 99% of acceptance without insufficient funds, and that's things that require online control, online routing, and online response, and we can have that by having the orchestrator too. So basically that's how we look at it. It enables, it helps us perform better, and it helps us in getting to the market, getting to the country in a really quick way. Well, at Rappi we are constantly experimenting, and we have alternative payment methods. We are enabling PIX, for example, in Brazil. We are enabling debit directly from accounts in Colombia. We are experimenting with different providers, as I said before. So we love to experiment. That's part of our DNA, and we make mistakes, a lot of it, but we try to make it quick, and we try to react and learn from it. And that's the key thing about having an orchestrator. We can experiment without having to put all our tokens, for example, in one of these providers, but instead to have this orchestrator to try all these routes, all these providers, all these country necessities, and not putting at risk the tokens or the cards or the UX with our clients.
Yeah, when I think about all the changes that have occurred, I think the primary thing is that the internet is allowing companies to go global more quickly than ever. And that's because of this sort of universal layer, universal experiences, the reach of mobile devices. But at the same time, payments, and I know you know this from firsthand experience, can still be very local. And so there's this sort of mismatch between you can build an English-looking mobile, English-only mobile app, and it can be, used worldwide very, very quickly. But the payments themselves still might be very entrenched in local customs and local usage, even things like the usage of cash versus credit versus debit and APM. So when I talk to people building payments and the ability to go quickly, very, very quickly, it's a little selfish, but we say always keep an orchestration layer in there, because you're going to find user acceptance, mobile devices, apps. Those are all going global really quickly, but payments is going to be a drag on that and doesn't move as quickly, and can really be an impediment to growth. So I think that's one of the core things we talk about.